Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is my Uchikomi partner, Anthony. It's a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, Anthony, how you been? Haven't seen you in a few days, actually.
Yeah, we last saw each other in the park. I was working out.
Yeah.
I can walk around now, so working out, it's good. Trying to get out of the house amidst this lockdown.
Yeah. Well, what we did is that the reason me and Anthony saw each other is that me personally, because my dojo was supposed to reopen, but we didn't get to reopen, is that I decided to do a Saturday practice in the park. So people bring their rolling mats. So we have a little bit of, so we have a few mats to get thrown onto and stuff. Nothing too crazy, just we had, how many people we had? What?
It was
2,
like
4, 6,
six or
8?
7, yeah.
Yeah, a small class. So Anthony, since he can't do anything, was showing off his muscles and his muscle shirt in the park, doing some pull-ups, trying to look real big.
Can't do lower body, so gotta keep the upper body, right?
One-legged squats, man. One-legged squats.
I was doing that too, actually.
Yeah. So that's how we saw each other. Like, I really encourage people to try to get judo done any way they can. We're doing some stuff in the park. Our head instructor, Philippe Morote, is also doing some practice in the park as well. He's doing his over in Los Angeles. It's over by the Beverly Center. That's where that's where he's doing the park at. And me, I'm doing it over here in Hollywood, or East Hollywood, I think it's called now.
Yeah, and if you don't have anyone to practice with, don't forget to practice your kemi, your break falls. They're really important, and you don't really need a partner to practice that. You can just YouTube it. There's plenty of solo drills that you can do.
You can
even without mats.
Yeah, you can do ukemis, get some uchikomi bands. What I like to do sometimes I practice with myself is I fill up my old army duffel bag with a bunch of gis. I just lift that thing up for ippon seonagi, kataguruma. I even do taitoshi with it. There's a lot of different ways you can work out. Working up against the wall. If you look at my Instagram channel, I actually have all those workouts on there. So if you want to follow me there, you see all my workouts there.
Okay.
So
we got we got a listener's email referring to episode 6 when we talked about the different rule sets. That's when we talked about Gosen, fight to win, and all that kind of stuff. And Juan mentioned a tournament out in Santa Clara where it was 2 ippons is a win, right? And
yeah.
So here's the email. So Tatami Talk. In episode 6, you spoke about a tournament in Santa Clara, California. It is called Evo Sports Expo and had competitions in several events, including judo. Unfortunately, it's canceled this year due to COVID-19. The judo event was called Legacy Judo, and I've added a link about it from a previous year. So it's evolutionsportsexpo.net /legacy-judo-tournament. But yeah, so regards, Judo Guy 234.
Yeah, so thanks, Judo Guy 234. So I guess you're a Bay Area guy also, just like me, South Bay, San Jose all day. So I looked up the tournament after we got this thing. And I guess it's not just South Bay anymore, because the one I saw was 2 years in a row in Santa Clara. But the one that was supposed to happen this year apparently was supposed to be in Sacramento, I saw. That's when it got canceled, unfortunately. But I couldn't find anything about the rule sets. When I kept clicking on the rules to register and look at stuff, it kept sending me to the Muay Thai page on the thing. I was like, I don't belong to Muay Thai.
It's a trap. It's not. It's not Judo Guy 234. It's actually Muay Thai Guy 123.
It's Muay Thai Guy. But yeah, so I was rereading again, and yeah, it was 2 ippons per win. Also, they didn't seem like they had, from what they gave in their summary, that they didn't have set weight classes. Also, it's more going to be about similar weight,
like
similar ages.
middleweight, heavyweight, light heavyweight kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. But I didn't get to see how long the matches are going to be again. So I can't remember if it was going to be 3-minute matches or 4-minute matches. I can't remember how long it was. I remember just thinking, like, man, if it was a straight 4-minute match for only 2, you had to get 2 ippons, I would be dying by the end. I think by 4 minutes, I'd be like, just throw me. I'll go with it.
Did you compete during that time when the Wazari stack up and don't add up to the ippon?
I did.
I was dying, and
I had a heart attack one time. I was like, I was crawling on the mat. I remember one time this sensei, one of the coach, no, it was one of the refs. I got like, I was Wazari or something, and he's like, up, and I'm just like looking at him like, huh? Up. I was like, I can't get up right now. I crawled, I think, 2 steps.
One of my senseis' match lasted like 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yeah, it was golden score plus funny enough, if I remember, they tore each other's pants. So they each had to like find replacements. So like between that and everything, it was like 30 something minutes. So
Oh my God,
yeah,
that's killer right there. But
yeah.
that used to be they used to have that more often back in the 90s and stuff when they would have
Hmm.
Ultimate Golden Score, I think it was. Was it late 90s? Or, I can't remember when exactly, but yeah, that happened to be a problem for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine doing a match for 4 minutes straight or 3 minutes straight? That's just tough enough. Two
Yep.
ippons. And I'm hoping it's Wazari was at the ippon also. Because if it's just like it has to be two ippons, I'd be like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
If I can get four Wazaris, I'll be good.
I think it's worse for beginners because you know how beginners fight, right? They're just off the bat strength,
Yeah.
muscle, and then no one's really throwing each other or getting a score, so it lasts
Mm.
even longer. And yeah.
Stiff arms, all going hard and stuff, trying to throw each other. Oh man.
Anyway, so another thing we want to clarify is we actually got some listener feedback about how we're hating on BJJ. Um, I'm not quite sure how you got that because we were talking about fight to win judo rule sets,
Yeah.
which technically isn't BJJ, but we don't hate BJJ. I train BJJ. I love it. I think it's like just the same art as judo but a different sport, and it's gone off in a different direction. It's its own thing, and it's awesome. And they kind of complete each other, right? It's kind of like having having a hot dog, and you have to have ketchup and mustard. Like you
No, you have a hot dog, you have that bread, okay? You have that bread to
Yeah,
go with the hot
yeah,
dog.
sure. But it's like condiments, right? You can either
Yeah.
have one or the other, but they don't really replace each other, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't hate
So
BJJ if
we don't we don't
come
hate
off as that.
BJJ. If you think I hate BJJ, I don't hate BJJ. I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
People think that I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy because I'm really good at Newaza. And when I go to different places, it's like when I first started doing catch wrestling a few years ago, they thought I was like some BJJ guy. I was like, nah, I'm a judo player and wrestler. I'm not a BJJ guy. Even though I will say this, I did get a blue belt in BJJ when I was in college. I don't tell most people that, but I guess the whole world's gonna know now. Yes, I am a blue belt in BJJ, but I'm also a black belt in judo.
I'm
So
I'm coming up as a 2 year white belt in BJJ because I don't go that often, and also I just never got promoted. I think I never showed up
yeah.
to the days that they were a promotion because I was at judo. So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't even know what I would be nowadays. I hear people say that because I'm good at Newaza and because I'm a judo black belt, that I would be minimum purple belt
I
nowadays,
think
even a brown
most
belt.
black
Who
belts
knows?
in a tournament get placed in the blue belt category. But
Yeah,
anyway, we don't hate BJJ. We were
yeah,
just talking about the rule sets, and there's plenty of things wrong with the judo rule sets too, which we can do a whole episode about. But
yeah.
yeah,
We can only talk from our experiences from
it's all
BJJ.
grappling. It's all grappling, guys.
Yeah,
Cross training. We have a lot of BJJ guys in our
it's all
dojo.
Newaza, guys. It's all Newaza.
Yeah, we're gonna get shot. Like someone's gonna show up.
Any BJJ place wants to invite us over and stuff. Okay.
Uh, okay.
I got love for you guys. All right. I got love for the BJJ. I got love for the jujitsu out there. All right.
All right. So we're gonna talk about inevitably the American Judo Development Model, the
Yeah.
AJDM.
Hmm. That's
Dave
the big new
Roman,
thing.
yeah, Dave Roman beat us to it on his Judo Chop Suey podcast. He talked about it. I had some Reddit conversations with him about some of my opinions, but what do you think about it, Juan?
So when I read over it, I read over a couple times and stuff. I keep looking at it, and when I first read it, it sounded a lot to me just like stuff you hear at the national tournaments.
Mhm.
Like if you ever go to the coaching clinics at any of the Winter Nationals, Summer Nationals, USA Nationals, it's pretty much the same exact stuff they tell you there, how to develop judo and how to teach your students. I've heard this before. I've heard this for years. It's just now seeing it on paper for the first time.
Yeah.
I do know when it came out, I did hear a lot of, I heard another parent that we work out with, and I heard you yourself say this, very similar
Mhm.
to what they have in Canada and Europe already. So I don't know if we just borrowed from their styles and just wrote our own, or
Yeah.
actually
So
it's a little bit of it actually kind of sounds a little bit like what Travis Stevens was saying a couple months, like a month ago in his podcast.
yeah, but his was like a financial framework on how to support how the money comes in and how it goes out and how you basically feed in and grow judo as a business essentially.
Yeah.
This like for context, since we didn't talk about it, we're not gonna. It's a pretty long PDF document, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. But it's a very high level framework on different stages of development of a judo athlete. There's a age-based model and a skill-based model, and it's supposed to cover both competitive athletes that are future national athletes and also adults that just came in or people who might not be the most athletic,
Well, people that want to
talented
do
people.
it like for
Yeah,
competition or for recreation.
yeah, but I do think at a high level at least, it's definitely lacking information on how it addresses more recreational and older and injured and disabled players, right? Judo
Okay,
players.
disable. I can hear you on that one.
Yeah, like we have sensei the sensei from Kenji from Sawtell teaches helps teaches special needs.
Hmm.
So obviously that's a very niche category, and I personally also looked into how I can volunteer teaching blind judo,
Yeah.
and there used to be a program in LA, but I can't find any information about it. So
It used to be at LACC. Apparent, I used to know because it used to be at
mhm.
LACC. Nishioka used to do it there because right next to LACC is actually the Braille Institute for the
Yeah,
blind and stuff. Right next to it.
I've drove
So
by it, yeah.
yeah, so I think that what they do is that like their PE program was with
Hmm.
LACC, and that's how they had blind players there. We actually almost at our dojo at Hollywood, we almost had a blind player one time come practice with us. He came over, well, someone brought him over,
Hmm.
and they talked to us. We explained to him that we didn't work with someone. We've worked with deaf people before.
Hmm.
We've worked with mental handicap people before because we actually had the Swedish mental handicap team
Yeah,
come visit us, and we did a work program with them for a week. It was really
yeah.
cool. So we've done this stuff before, but we've never done it with a blind person, which to me I think would maybe be easier because I could just like put them where to go, I guess. Where when I work with our deaf person, I have to show them everything. Like,
Hmm.
look at how I'm doing this, and I like
Yeah.
find them like, oh, pull here, let go here, look at my leg, sweep harder. So
I fought a hearing impaired person in my first brown belt tournament, and he was a black belt. He like obliterated me, and then he was on the floor like crushing me with a kesugatame, and the ref was like mate mate, and he totally forgot to
to
touch him
touch
to
them,
stop,
yeah.
and I'm just like he said mate like
You're just
so.
looking at it like, let me up. I can't breathe.
Yeah. But yeah, so I personally, I mean, I'm not that great at judo. I'm not super competitive, but I totally believe in the whole judo for everyone thing. I want to help spread judo to everyone. I don't think you need to be naturally athletic or gifted to enjoy judo or reap the benefits. And I mean, you see this in a lot of the coaching clinics and advertisements and that IGF puts out. But I mean, as far as we can tell, as far as I can tell, I don't really see us in the U.S. actually promoting that.
Well,
We're very competition focused.
we are competition focused, but I think also when people see judo, they kind of see how aggressive we are.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't see it as like, oh, if I have a handicap, can I do this?
Yeah.
Like when I was in wrestling, we used to see there used to be like kids with one arm, kids with one leg
Hmm.
doing wrestling. And it's really hard to get a double leg on a kid with one leg. Let me tell you that much. So shoot a single, I swear, only shoot a single
Well,
on
there
them.
isn't. It's impossible. There isn't another leg.
I know
So,
it's really that's why it's so hard.
but
But no, I think that people they think that grappling is going to be too hard for them
mhm.
to do because like they can't understand all that. Oh, they have to pull, they have to see. And I actually think that for someone with a disability of like loss of a sight or hearing or something, I think grappling would actually be better for them. It's a
Yeah.
single sport. You depend only on yourself. You don't have to worry about
Especially
someone else.
judo is all about feel. Like
Yeah, it's all about feeling.
it's not like boxing or something. So,
You have to get feeling a fist in your
well,
face.
imagine boxing blind, right? So,
Oh man, you can't. That I don't think. Could you box or kickbox blind? You can definitely grapple. I'm not sure about
but
boxing or
it goes back
kickboxing.
to what we said in previous episodes. We're doing a really bad job at advertising in judo. So, um,
True, true.
this I think this back to the AJDM.
Yeah, back to the yeah.
I don't think it addresses the pipeline issue we have of not having enough incoming judokas, whether they're kids or adults or teenagers.
Yeah.
We're just creating this model for a, a demand that's not there.
Well, I
So
think they're also trying to like make us set guideline of rules and regulations, or just a ladder that people can step to when they start doing judo. They can see this, and to help people teach also, like help. Well, this is what you guys can teach too. Like, what's the first age bracket? See, section 1 from 5
5 to
to
8.
5
5
to
is
8.
usually the minimum, yeah. Even though they start earlier in Japan and some Eastern European countries. So
Yeah. So it's just, I think it's just trying to build a framework of like what to teach your students. So like everyone in the United States, everyone in America, kind of all follow the same guideline somewhat. You know, it's
so
gonna be tough.
he
It's gonna be tough because everybody's want to do their own thing.
so I have two parts of that. Is one, think about, so the insurance requires you to be a shodan to run a class by yourself or open a dojo. Like I, as a brown belt, cannot go out there and run a class, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, technically I can, but then I'm not covered by the liability insurance from USA Judo, right? So think about how long it takes to get a black belt shodan in America. By then, I feel like most shodans would already know most of this stuff or have their own way of doing things that they're not going to decide to change, right? Do you agree with that statement?
No,
Like,
I do and I don't, because it's
would you run class differently after you read this, for example?
I think if I read this, I, even as just an experiment, I would try to run my class to this. Like, I would try it at first. And if it didn't work for me, like most people, I'll probably start leaving stuff out, forgetting stuff, not using it. I'm gonna do what works for me, and what do I like to teach. That's how everyone's gonna be. Okay. Like, we're all doing this out of the kindness of our hearts because we love teaching judo. We're not getting rich off this yet.
Yeah.
One day, hopefully, who knows? But with this, I think it adds a framework like how to teach, because you're gonna get some people that are like, they're really good competition players or something, and they're just guys that do it on the side and they move to an area. Like, say you're good at judo. Okay, you're not great, you're decent at judo. You move to an area that doesn't have any judo. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna quit judo? You're gonna go to wrestling or BJJ or find a catch school that's even weirder, or sambo place? No, you're gonna try to open up your own dojo most likely. And this hopes of a framework where if you're not a regular teacher, if you never taught before, you're never an assistant instructor, this will help you develop a program to teach for the first time.
I agree. So, but yeah, if let's say I was a wrestler and I like wanted to start a judo program on the side for off season, or I'm a sankyu that wanted to open my own dojo in the middle of nowhere, start a judo program there in YMCA or something, then I can see like, yeah, this would be very useful, but none of those paths are really available right now, right? So.
Well, right now, nothing's available right now. All right. I'm doing judo in a park. All right. I'm doing judo in a park.
Yep. So, which leads to the second part of my question is, if someone could get something out of it, how many dojos do you think will actually take this training course and change the way they teach because of it, instead of being like, hey, look at the certification we got, and like hang up on the wall and collect dust?
I hope, like, I can't give you an exact number, like how like 50%, 75%, 90, 20%. I can't give you an exact number, but I hope that most would try at least. Even at our dojo, trying to think I would try to teach this way. I was seeing this thing. I would try to implement it when we first get it or first try it out. I'm not sure if Philippe would, because he
has his own style, which is
but again,
which is why it attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, but his thing also kind of comes to this anyway. He does a lot of the stuff in here where it talks about, like, one of the big things in here they keep talking about is extra fitness stuff, doing fitness stuff. Don't just do judo, do fitness, do cardio, do aerobic.
And we have fitness class
do gymnastics. We have fitness classes. We do gymnastic style stuff for warm up already. We do body lift things. We lift our partners up certain ways. See, we do a lot of stuff already. That's the whole thing that I look at this and I just see. I've heard this already at the USA Nationals, Winter Nationals, Summer. I've heard this stuff already, and most senseis should be already implementing this, or should already be working off something similar to this. So that's my thing.
Exactly. So what really surprised me out of this whole thing is it took them 2 years well, let's not say implement, because I've actually seen a version of this a year and a half ago, and nothing. There's more details, but nothing much core in the core part has changed. But taking you 2 years to release this after you announce it, it seems like
Well, you know, like you
I
do
I
making
don't
these
know.
boxes are really hard, and choosing what
Well,
colors
I
you
feel like they might have
want.
disagreements with the three governing bodies, right? That's why
Of
I think they
course, yeah.
took the most
Well,
time. But what would you disagree about here? I mean,
I don't know what I disagree with personally. Personally, I don't think anything in here is super
it's
like off.
pretty standard in how most dojos run, right? As far as the dojos I visit is how
Yeah,
they
for the most
teach.
part.
So,
The only thing that I could see now, this is an individual thing, not a federation thing for the most
mhm,
part, but more individual, is that for the younger divisions, for the like divisions one, two, three, and I think even four, where they encourage outside sports
mhm,
to build on your abilities. Now, judo, we're such a small program already. So
mhm,
I can't see a lot of senseis being like, son or girl, daughter, Mija, you're good at Newaza, right? You're
mhm,
really good at Nevazas. Maybe your parents should put you in some wrestling, or maybe you should add in some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu onto that.
mhm.
Because I don't see a lot of sensei being like, man, this is my good student. I don't want them going to another grappling system, and then we
Well, they
lose
don't want
them.
to go to another school in general a lot of times.
Yeah, they don't want to lose their students. A lot of people just don't want to lose their students. We have a student of ours, like a really good one of our youth members,
Mhm,
really good, loves judo, but he loves baseball too. So
yeah.
when baseball season comes, he
He's
leaves
gone.
us.
Yeah,
He's gone. He's out doing. He's not doing baseball and judo.
yeah.
And I understand. When I was younger, I loved combat sports. I would do wrestling at school, and then I'd go home. My mom would take me to karate practice. I'd go do
Mhm.
karate, come home, do my homework. That was me. A lot of parents aren't going to do that. A lot of parents aren't going to be like, all right, get your football gear on. Let's go to football practice. All right, let's go to judo tonight now. Now with wrestling and judo, I guess it's more easier to do it. But
Mhm.
even wrestling to BJJ or judo to BJJ, I can see a lot of sense of being like, I don't want to lose my student. I don't want
Mhm.
to lose my good guy, my good girl. This is my national champion right here. I don't want to put them in something else and I lose them. You
So
know?
if it goes back to what I said before, it doesn't address the pipeline problem, right? Like
Yeah.
you have this model and then you lose them to wrestling, baseball, other sports, or you just don't have the people to apply this to in the first place. I mean, what I think the numbers were something like less than 10% of um, judokas actually compete in the United States.
Really?
Something like that. Like,
Wow, really?
I'm pulling that number. It's
It
okay.
might be
It's
from
really
just in the dojos that
it's
I've
really
gone
low.
to.
It's
I
just
know just
really
some of the
low.
dojos I got. Maybe I only go to competition dojos then, because like almost every dojo I've trained at and gone to, it's always like we go to competitions, we fight, we go.
I mean, the numbers have been declining too, so you gotta put that in account. But it's
Mm.
some really low numbers compared to, let's say you go to another country, like your bracket's gonna have at least you're not gonna get a participation medal, which is fairly often happens here, where you fight in the best of three, or like there's only two other people in your division, so you're guaranteed a medal. But
Sensei, I got third place. Great. How many people are in your division? Three. Great.
so
Yay.
yeah, so the numbers are definitely suffering, and I think addressing the pipeline issue is
Well,
definitely.
it's about making just judo more popular. We have to advertise somehow.
Mhm.
Everyone says, oh, you need to put judo in the schools. You don't need to put judo in the
I
schools.
disagree with that
You don't
exactly.
have,
Putting in
yeah.
the school is not the solution.
No, I think it's just more putting it out there. Like,
Mhm.
God, like
It's
we
just
need a Super
art.
Bowl. We
It's
need
just
a Super Bowl
advertising.
commercial.
I mean,
That's what we need a Super Bowl commercial.
remember when we were training at the park, and
Yeah,
people came up and asked us like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, like, can I sign up?" Like, we need to think outside the box and
yeah.
do stuff like that. Like, um, I don't know, maybe instead of pumping money into athletes, you rent like prime real estate on Venice Beach and you do like beach judo, kind of like how the Muscle Beach is
Yeah.
and the skate parks and
So
stuff.
muscle
And
judo.
yeah, there's a beach judo. And it's like open mat. Like you just have people that come and like grapple and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know how insurance is going to work, but then again, like, how does insurance work for skate parks? Like
I think it's get your own risk.
I'm more scared of riding a skateboard than I am getting thrown. I'll tell you that. So,
Well, you're a judo player. If you fall on a skateboard, you know how to ukemi.
well,
Just side
I'm
ukemi.
not talking about like riding like on a flat surface. I'm talking about the tricks that they do in the
Yeah,
swimming pool and
you
all that
go
stuff at the
up, the
skate
board
parks.
goes away, you forward ukemi, land on your feet, you're good.
Yeah, but we need to think outside the box, I think, to rebrand judo because we don't, unlike BJJ, we don't have something like UFC to lean on or depend on. So,
Well, even in UFC, when they have really good, well, the thing is like there are some good judo players, some really good judo players in UFC. But whenever they go into Newaza, whenever they go into groundwork, and I'm not hating on judo, I'm not hating on BJJ. I'm not hating BJJ right now. It's just the announcers, the coaches, everyone's like, oh, their BJJ is great. Or their BJJ is like, no, he's not a BJJ guy. He's a judo guy. His Newaza is good. And they never promote, they never say, oh, that's judo Newaza right there. Or if someone does do a judo Newaza, like someone throw, I can't remember what fight it was, like last week or 2 weeks ago, a girl that was a judo player threw a girl straight into Keskatame.
I forgot her name, but I uploaded that clip on Reddit. So
yeah, had her in great Keskatame and just yanking on the head and stuff. And the the announcer are like, oh, that was a good judo throw there, but I don't know if that scarf hold's gonna work. That judo, I don't know if that's gonna hurt. And the girl tapped from it. She didn't take that neck.
No, she didn't tap from it. She
didn't tap from that crank?
Rolled out into an armbar.
Oh, it was rolled out into an armbar? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like they just hate. It's not they hate on judo. It's just they don't.
They don't know about it. I don't think they know about it. They don't give it the proper
respect that they should. They don't say,
you can't really. It's not respect. They don't train it. Like you can't expect them to know it. Then they don't train it. But again, advertising. So, back to the model. We keep drifting, swapping topics. I was supposed to join that Zoom meeting today, but I was like stuck waiting for them to let me join the room, and it never happened. And then like an hour later, I get an email telling me to join, and I joined and waited another hour and couldn't get in. So I don't know what they were talking about, because I'm like, hey, maybe I should join that meeting before I like criticize or put my.
We're not criticizing. That's the thing. People may say that we're criticizing. We're not criticizing. We're just talking about what we see.
I mean, this stuff is good. Like it's needed. We don't have this.
No.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner coach, if you just got your showdown stuff, thinking about opening a
door,
or
if you're just a crap coach, like
if you're, well,
like
they're not going to admit that they're a crap coach.
Yeah,
they think they're amazing. They think they're great. I have no national champions. No. God, it's not all about winning, Juan. It's not all about winning, which they say in this. They actually do talk about that a lot in here.
Yeah, not about winning, which is ironic, I think, slightly.
It's not always about the winning. It's just about developing judo, about getting the honor, respect, the self-control, the self-confidence from judo, and being able to take the moves and being able to. I like how they said in here. One of the things like, literally, we learn how to get back up. Literally.
That's literally and figuratively too. But I don't know what went on in that meeting. If anyone listening was in the meeting and could email us and let us know, or drop us a message on Instagram or something, that'd be cool.
Or if you had trouble with the meeting too, let us know. If it was just
I don't know what it talked about, but at first let me ask you this. Would you pay $30 to take this course? So this is a high level thing. I assume it goes more in depth when you take the course, but it's $30. Would you take it if it's not out of the dojo's pocket, but out of your pocket?
If, like I said, if I was a beginner coach, beginner sensei, me right now, I might. Okay. If this was going to get me another 4 years of my coaching certification, yes, I would.
Yeah, see, now you're talking about caveats. Like, again, it's back to the whole hanging up on the wall and forget about it kind of thing, right?
No, because I like this. I like it. But if it's not going to...
Yeah, but then you're not taking it because it's good material. It's because it serves a purpose.
But I feel like I've heard this 10,000 times before with every coaching clinic I've gone to, whether you go to the USJ, USJF, or USA Judo ones.
At first, I was like, I'm not going to pay for this, because exactly what you said, I've heard it a billion times. And but now I'm like curious about it. I want to see what's actually involved, because I wasn't in that Zoom meeting, so they probably knew what I was thinking and wouldn't let me in the Zoom meeting for that reason, because they want my $30. But so now I'm curious, so I might actually take it.
Well, when they do the proper one, that's gonna be a Zoom meeting as well, right?
I think there's an online course and there's an in-person course, so I'm not sure.
I wonder how they can do it.
I haven't signed up, but I think you can take it now, so maybe I will just pay that $30. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna require this for national coaches.
Maybe so. Take it. Make sure you have a camera. Like, have your cell phone in your pocket right here. Record everything.
Yeah. So one other thing, do you have anything to talk about before I talk about the Canadian judo, compared to the Canadian judo stuff I found?
I didn't get to read the Canadian judo stuff. I tried to, but I couldn't open it. Okay. But another one that I thought was interesting about here is the sessions on how many days to train. Where when you want to be the national level, like, what was it? Let me see right here. How many days was it? So when you're 16 up, when you're at the U.S. team national level,
Mm-hmm.
they expect you to do 5 to 10 days a week. Okay. So if you're doing 5 to 10 days a week, that's either 1 a day or doing 2 a days.
5 to 10 days. There's only 7 days in a week. What are you talking about?
Well, sessions, 5 to 10
Oh,
sessions.
sessions. Okay.
Okay. Not days.
That sounds about
sessions.
right if
My
you're
bad.
trying to go to Olympics.
Yeah. Okay. Which you're doing 2 a days, which you should be doing if you're part of the national team and stuff. So no problem. But the thing that I think is overworking, it's just a little thing to me, just a little interesting thing, is that they want you to do 2 a days of judo, 2-hour classes, which you should be doing 2-hour classes anyways. If you're at that level, it should be 2 hours, no problem. But they still want you to add, to supplement, how many days was it? It's not this one I'm looking at, but they wanted to supplement with what we do already, like aerobic, weight training, CrossFit stuff that's going to help you become a better judo player. But to me, when I read that, so they want 10 sessions a week minimum, and then add another. I'm pretty sure. How many days was it? Let me look at this thing. I'm gonna look like an idiot because I can't find this right now.
I just realized I was using the wrong mic, so I corrected it.
So thank you, everybody. And I got this.
So if you notice notice a change in quality, that's what happened.
Yes, you sound crystal clear now.
Yeah.
They added an additional 4 to 6 times a week for additional weight training, CrossFit type stuff. So, man, that's just a lot of workout, I think, right there. And I'm worried that they might get burnt out. But at that point, it should be your job at that point.
Yeah.
If you're on the Olympic team, it should be your job. So I thought that was really interesting. Them saying that mandating or just, I don't know if it's a suggestion or mandate at that point, if you're on the national team.
Yeah.
Should ask Johnny that.
We should ask Johnny. Yeah. But so I know you didn't read the French stuff. I'm not going to link it because I don't think it's on their official site. So you can Google it. That's how I found it. But basically, did I say French? I meant Canadian because I was thinking of French Canadian.
French Canadian?
Yeah, I was thinking of French Canadian. They have these PDF files that are very detailed about how to teach kids from the under 7, under 9, and under 11 and under 13 age groups. So these PDFs are really detailed, and I can't imagine that $30 course that you take within a day could cover all the materials that those 3 PDFs covered. But I think that's what we need if you're talking about developing a framework for developing kids to become these national judo players. And I mean, I found this online, so I assume it's for free. I've noticed something similar in the French Judo Federation.
No, this is a French one, not the French Canadian, right?
Now I'm talking about French. Yeah, I looked it up. There's some similar stuff for the French one. Haven't found really any for the British Judo Association, but they do have a lot of information about how to start your own club, how to market it, picking a storefront and the market demand, and just stuff that an athlete might not necessarily know about running a club. So they have a lot of help on that end. And if you look at, I keep saying the Canadian Judo, I would keep referring to it because I think they're a really good example, because not too long ago, I think they were kind of in the same spot that we were in the US here. But now they have medals and they're doing great. And but I heard when I went to the Nicholas Gill Clinic, they basically doubled their funding. So
that's nice.
Yeah, but they got medals. So
there's what's their prime minister's name? Whatever. I guess he likes judo. Yeah, he must like judo.
I think he must like judo. I actually think he trained judo at one point. But
that's
my
why.
Point is, if you go to Judo Canada's website, under toolbox for clubs, it's under development toolbox for clubs. You'll see these are all detailed guides about how to manage a club, strength, power, and endurance, how to open a dojo, judo safety. I looked at that briefly. They even tell you how to clean the mats, like how to make a bleach solution to clean the mats. And there's some concussion prevention that we have that too. But nutrition, there's a nutrition booklet about nutrition. So now everyone knows about nutrition. So some basic ones would help a lot. And there's also a tatami loan program, because I think that's the biggest hurdle about clubs. First is finding a space, right? And number 2 is getting the mats. So the fact that they have this tatami loan program to get your club started, they're addressing the pipeline problem. You know how, well, Canada's huge, but most of the population is centered in Toronto and Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
But there's still different places that don't have judo programs. So I think we kind of have something similar to them in terms of how spread out we are, and this would help a lot, because I always see online people are saying we don't have a judo school here, but there's a BJJ school near me, right?
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Yeah. So that's just something to think about. Maybe that's a better spent funding and time, but
well, it's obvious that they've used other programs to build this one right here. Look at other successful programs from France or Great Britain or wherever it is, what works for them has worked in Canada, and try to build on top of that for us right here in the US. But it does always come down to advertisement. We can try to build as much as we can, but if we can't get people on the mats, if we can't get people in the dojo, it doesn't matter. And one of our biggest things we always go to is that we're the cheapest date in town. You know, judo is one of the cheapest martial arts to do. Us and boxing usually are the cheapest ones.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why, what to do with the kids in here, they focus on like making judo fun. Don't focus on the winning. Don't focus on the randori and stuff, which I can see a lot of people like, if all they know is that when they come to judo and they put their kids in it, they want their kids to do randori. They want their kids to learn how to fight. And I think this also goes back to what Travis Streams was saying, is that you have to figure out, is you going to teach the martial arts? Are you going to teach the sport? Which one are you going to do? Because you have to find a middle ground, and you have to figure out who and what you're teaching to people. And I've had to do that myself with some of our students, you know. But it's about keeping people on the mat. And you got to get them through the door. So it's about that advertising. It always comes back down to that damn advertising in America. Yeah, we need to make a judo movie. John Wick, when John Wick 4 comes out, I'm put out a bunch of videos of just what John Wick does, and this is how it pertains to judo. All right.
So Travis Steven actually asked a pretty good question on his live stream a while back. Was like, when Ronda Rousey won the champion's belt in MMA, he was like, how many of you club owners out there ran Facebook ads? Was what they asked. And I think out of the whole chat, only like 1 or 2 people did. Yeah. And there was like a few hundred people in there. So,
well, when Kayla Harris won when she won the PFL championship last year.
Yeah, how many people ran ads, right?
I will say this. That's one thing I did notice, because I didn't run ads, but I'll put stuff out. I put more stuff out for judo when she was fighting, because like get people in the dojo. I did notice that there would be an increase of female people interested in judo after her matches. I did see that, exactly. After all of her matches, there would always be a female increase of like, I would get about 3 to 5 women that would come to the dojo and be interested in it. Maybe 1 or 2 of them would actually get on the mat, would do the stuff. None of them lasted, sadly. Actually, one of them kind of did last, but she didn't do judo, but she loved the sport so much that she actually helped us out and stuff.
Yep.
Or she enjoyed the sport enough that she helped us out, but she didn't stay with judo.
Yep.
And I don't know what we should do. Should we, like I said, when John Wick comes out, should we make more videos about judo?
I've said it in the previous episode. We need a judo anime. A judo anime or a judo cartoon. Or a judo rap video.
A judo rapper. That's what we need, judo rapper.
The judo rapper, yeah.
Well, it's funny because our dojo actually was a site for a commercial for God, I can't remember what company it was.
Was it Acura?
Yeah, it's an Acura. We did an Acura. They actually shot an Acura commercial at our dojo, and they did judo in it. There were people fighting in the background. The main thing is that the main guy was throwing another person. And I waited so long for that video to come out. I never saw that commercial anywhere. I looked it up on YouTube.
Well,
I would check the commercials.
Our dojo was on TV as the karate dojo. Even
the
first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed was the name of. We have signs up in our dojo of all the judo techniques. Like, like Ippon Seonage. So it's like a karate dojo with judo technique names in the back.
Yeah, and it was I can't remember how long ago that was. Like almost 2, maybe 3 years now.
Yeah,
actually, it might have been longer than that. The show This Is Us. If you ever watch that show, there's a scene where one of the little boys learns karate with his dad, and it's supposed to be an African-American karate club. And they actually used our dojo. There was an actual judo club there. They actually shot at a judo club, which is very interesting. And I was actually hoping that they would use us more often. That's to be a big part of the character's life, that he trains karate and stuff, so it would come a lot. But it was only one time, so it's okay. But so getting back to the AJDM, I do think it's good. I think it's good if you're a brand new person to judo, not if you're a brand new person, but if you're a brand new person that's looking to teach, want to develop a program, want to open up your own club, or just thinking of a way to refine your club. I think reading this, taking a class would help you out.
Maybe I'll take a class and then I'll do a quick update on the next episodes in the beginning. So I'll update you guys. So one thing that people I see online ask a lot is that what should I prepare for my first judo class? Like I'm interested in finding out about judo. I want to do it, and do I need to get fit first? Do I need to buy this? Do I need to buy that? Do I need to like get boxing gloves? Like actually, someone asked me before if they needed to buy hand wraps for judo. Actually,
should I get hand wraps? I guess wrestling shoes, some boxing gloves, headgear.
Let's go with you. What do you think is important?
So one of the things that I always tell people when they first start doing judo and stuff is, it's going to sound funny, but pain, because people aren't used to falling. That's just how it is. People aren't just doing simple ukemis, little like just backward ukemis. People aren't used to it. And the whole thing of like tucking your chin, telling them they'll put their head back and they hit their head, or they do a side ukemi, their arm goes out too much, they hit their elbow. You're going to be in a little bit of pain. Now, if you're at any dojo and you're being thrown the first day of class, I really don't recommend that. I understand.
I think for the first month, I think is probably overkill, but
I think at least the first 2 weeks
with a crash mat, I think it's okay. So
I think doing a concrete outside the first 2 weeks is okay. Yeah. No, I do. Oh, I'm fucking around. All right. So what people, I know our name is the gentle way. And one of the bad things is that they'll look online and they'll see people say, oh, judo is very similar to BJJ. And BJJ is all on the ground for the most part. They don't have a lot of takedowns. They start on the ground for the most part. So there's not a lot of like heavy hitting on the ground. Now there is the chokes and the arm bars and stuff. So that's going to get sore. But being thrown on the ground by somebody, even on cushion mats, even on soft mats, like we have the 2-inch thick mats, it still hurts if you're not used to it. If the impact, you're going to be shocked. And I try to ease people into it.
All martial arts has some sort of pain or risk of injury. So we're just going to put that out there. All legit martial arts. Like obviously, if you go to a cardio kickboxing class, right? That's not gonna, the type of hurt I'm talking about is not like, oh, my muscles are sore, right? And I'm talking, there's risk of injury, like getting concussed when you go to a boxing class. Judo, same thing. But I
think when people first come, I try to tell them like, hey, if anything gets too much for you, let me know. All right. You can sit down, you can sit out, but let me know. Don't just walk off the mat. That's very disrespectful.
So some quick things I want to like just
I tell
list
people
off.
when they come there, you're going to feel pain. It's going to hurt a little bit. Okay.
I think you're lagging a little bit, so we're kind of
desynced.
Yeah, but some quick things I want to just like cross off is, do I need to get fit first? No, you'll get fit by doing judo. You don't get fit first and doing judo. Just pace yourself, just like every other sport, right? 2, do I need to buy anything? Usually for the first class, no. You want to call and ask first, usually.
Just buy a gi.
Yeah. But if you buy a gi and you watch class and you don't like it, then cut your nails, toenails and fingernails. What else? Oh, and remember that we had that one girl that showed up and doesn't really know what judo is, but she bought a gi and paid like
she did everything. I felt really bad for her. I told her to watch class first, but she's like, no, I really want to do judo.
But she's like, I've never done judo before. I don't know what it is. So if you don't know what judo is, please go online or go on YouTube and look up what it is. So
yeah. And one thing with that is that don't just go online and look at judo and stuff. Watch competition judo, watch like judo techniques and stuff, see what it is. And if you go to a class, stay the entire time. Okay. I know it's gonna be boring 2 hours. You're not gonna be doing anything, just watching, but stay and see how the class goes. Don't just watch, because I get a lot of people that come in, they'll watch the warm-ups, they'll watch a little bit in Newaza, some uchigomis, maybe some pulling drills.
Yeah, a lot of people leave. A lot of people leave during the Newaza part. I know.
It's like, we're not doing the fun stuff yet. We're not doing the high impact, but you got to see when people fly.
Yeah, so stay for the whole class. Watch it first, see if you like it. Every dojo's intensity is slightly different. So you want to see if it fits you. But in America, it's kind of hard because if you live in a place that only has like one dojo within the 200-mile radius, then there's really not much you can do.
Yeah.
But make sure it's a cultural fit. Not that I'm not saying like some guys are assholes or whatever, but just make sure you feel comfortable there. Maybe some people are just like too intense for you, the intensity. Sometimes people are too relaxed and they're more closer to Aikido kind of judo. So find something that fits you and a sensei that you like. You don't want to show up to a place that you hate training with the people there every day, and then eventually you're just going to quit anyway. So
Yeah, well, that's a really good thing. That's why I say, like, you gotta stay and watch class. When I found Hollywood Judo, I loved it as soon as I went there. Like, I don't know what it was about just the people, the atmosphere. It just felt much more.
it caters to everyone. I've been to some places where it's like, this is the way we train. If you don't train like this, then go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
I feel like the way that Philippe trains, it's kind of like targets competitors and also recreational people. So that's why we have a lot of adults, I think.
Yeah,
So,
that's why one of the biggest adult schools in Southern California, in LA area. So
that's
if you guys
why I
want to train
drive
judo,
an hour there.
if anyone's out there that lives in LA area wants to try judo and stuff, and you live somewhat near Hollywood or LA, like the closest thing I'd say is that we're near LACC. We're a few blocks away from LAC. Come visit, try us out. And if you don't like us, there's tons of places in Los Angeles to try judo out. You try any dojo out.
Yeah. So some of the things I want to point out is stay hydrated. Most people don't drink enough water throughout the day. And if you chug water like an hour before a class, you're going to throw up, especially as a beginner when you're tumbling, you're doing rolls and you're not used to it, right? So drink water throughout the day. Take breaks and don't be afraid to ask to take a break in class if you're not used to it yet, and sip your water. Don't chug it again. Let people know if you're going to a restroom, because I think one time we had a guy like pass out in the restroom. Like,
We had a guy pass down the restroom.
No, I don't know if it's at our old dojo.
Oh, you're older. I've had guys throw up in my dojo, like throw up in my bathroom before, because I had guys like talk big, talk tough. Then they start doing judo. It's a lot for them, and they start hurling in the back.
Yeah, so let someone know. It's just, other than respect, is a safety thing. So, or maybe there's a break around the corner and sensei wants to finish talking about whatever. So,
just when you go to a dojo, be respectful, ask questions, don't leave the mat without asking for permission, and be expecting. Judo is a combat sport, so expect to have I don't want to say combat, but it's going to be a little rough. Falling's tough. I understand. It might be hard for people.
You get used to it. It's not going to feel like that all the time. You get used to it.
Your body gets used to it. You get tough to it. It becomes nothing after a while.
You get better falling techniques. So,
and listen to the senseis when you first start doing judo, when they talk about it. One of the most important thing is falling. So if they tell you 45 degree with the hands, hit 45. Don't stick your arm out, because you might get scared later, put your arm out during a throw, and you might dislocate an elbow or mess up your knee or something because you stiffened up too much. It's judo. Especially at dojo, it's practice. It's practice. Just go with the flow. Just go with the throw. All right.
Yep. Don't try and muscle everything. That's how you get hurt.
Yeah.
And one thing that's really good advice that the sensei in Japan told me was, as you get older, you have to adjust the way you train. So if you're an older adult coming to train judo, or you're out of shape, I think I mentioned already, but don't try to keep up with what everyone else is doing, especially in your first class. There's no way, and that's just asking to get hurt.
Oh yeah,
and
I see that a lot of people that are retired, like retired judo players, get back into it. You're not 20 anymore, man. I'm sorry, you're not 30 anymore.
And
we all age.
Yep.
I feel it now. I'm tired now already.
The older you are, the longer it takes you to warm up, and one reason for that is because you can't do the same movement that the young people are doing, like those handstand rolls and just these intense movements. You can't do them anymore. So you got to do running in place, hopping in place, jumping jacks, like more safer and less intense stuff. But it takes longer to warm your body up that way. So if you're an older person, try and come earlier and warm up a little bit before the general warm-up class, and work up a sweat before you start getting into it, so that prevents injuries. And don't overstretch. Save the stretching for after class. Don't stretch too much before class, because that actually increases your injury rate because you're loosening up your muscles too much that they're not holding your joints together and all that stuff correctly. So,
but in the end, if you're enjoying it or if you're not enjoying it, just try to stick with it for a little while. They say that you have to do something for a month to make it into a habit for you to get used to it. So don't give up. Keep doing it. Keep trying it out and stuff. Don't just do one day and be like, I don't like it. Don't just do a week and be like, I don't like it. You got to try it out. You got to try it, build into it. That's all I can say.
Yep. One other key thing, that was last thing for me, is if you're one of those dojos where you have different senseis teaching at the same time, then the stuff that they tell you might differ slightly. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some people would be like, why did this sensei say that and this sensei said this? They must not know what they're talking about. But that sensei might be taller and sensei B might be shorter, so they might do the same throw slightly different. And maybe he has an injury that he doesn't have, so they do it slightly different too. So I recommend you stick to one either. If you can't, if you're kind of confused, and just stick to one way of doing it. Otherwise, try and learn from everyone and pick what works for you and do it that way. But yeah.
Well, one last thing that when you brought up the sensei reminded me of that. When you first start, most likely you'll be set with like the white belt and a separate sensei or a separate instructor. Just because you're with them doesn't mean you're not going to go to the advanced class, but don't think because you know a little bit that you can go to the advanced class. That's one of the things I've seen is people that will start doing judo, be decent at it, pick it up pretty quickly, and then want to go to the advanced class really fast. And they go to the advanced class, do some randori or newaza, and just get destroyed or get a hard throw, and then they quit. It's okay. It is one thing that I was told in judo when I first started years ago. Judo is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay. Yep. It is okay to walk, to crawl, walk, then run. Don't worry about it. You don't have to sprint out right when you start.
There will be times when it's frustrating. I've had people literally tell me that they cry in the car after class because of how they can't tell anyone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's not.
I swear I'm not a bully. I'm just rough. I'm just a little strict. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not because of the senseis being mean, but it's kind of like how frustrating judo is to them. And
you're going to plateau. Once you get higher up, you're going to hit plateaus, but you got to break through them. And so you got to work harder to get through it.
It's not just plateaus, but plateau is one of them. Everyone hits them, right? In every sport. But when you start off, obviously someone who's been training for years is not going to straight up smash you, right? And like destroy you, right? But as you get better, they're going to have to try a little harder and harder and to toughen you up and get you better and stuff. So to you, it seems like you're not getting better because you're never throwing this guy. But in reality, that guy's like not going easy on you over time. So
he keeps adding a notch. Oh, he's okay. He's only so I'm gonna get a little higher, break it a little higher. And it keeps going like this. Why can't I catch up? Because I keep on ratcheting it up. That's why.
Like for example, when I go with new people or lower belts, I don't grip fight with them. I just let them get whatever grip they want. Then for me, I get to practice avoiding the throws or moving them with these uncomfortable grips. And also they spend less time focusing on the grips and more time trying to throw me. But once they get to a certain level, I'm like, okay, I need to like deny them that grip or I need to make them work for it.
Yeah, make them work a little bit harder.
Yeah, then I kind of make them work for the grip a little bit to try and introduce that little bit of grip fighting and a little bit more pressure. So it's just another example.
That's great. So please stick with judo. Don't quit. Everything's going to take some time. And you're not going to get Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to get a black belt in 2 weeks, okay? Or in 6 months.
Unless you buy it from North Korea.
We have no problem. Do we have a problem? I have nothing to comment right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at @GR8_Juan. You can follow Anthony at Anthony Throws. Please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Please like our stuff. Follow us on all of the platforms that you can find our podcast at. And if you have any questions, comments, feel free to give them to us.
Yep. Our email is at tatamitalk@gmail.com. So if you have any questions or feedbacks or hate mail, then send it our way. Why not?
I love some hate mail. I'm glad because Anthony gets the hate mail and then he reads it to me later.
Yep. I'm the hate mail reader. I filter. I'm his secretary. Yeah.
All right.
Till next time. Talk to you guys later.
Peace out.